So we'll kick that back up to large then. And Apollo wants Masquerade. I'm fine without that. Hey, Battle Longer, welcome to the stream. This game, it's a new game. It I think went into early access 3 weeks ago. It's a really nice game that can be played in half an hour. The multiplayer is really good. And we've got our 6 players, so Yo Zhao isn't going to have to worry about the 5-player dynamic, which apparently he or she finds quite undesirable. But we have 6 and everyone's ready, so let's go. So basically this game is set on Mars. It's a real-time strategy game with no combat. It's about making a lot of money. There are some ways you can directly attack your opponents, but mostly it's about exploiting the map and exploiting the actions of your opponents to make money in the most efficient way possible. There are a bunch of resources that you harvest off the map, and then you process them into other goods, and everything can be sold on a open market. So when you sell, every time you sell an item, the price goes down slightly, and every time you buy an item, the price goes up slightly. And of course, the prices are shared amongst all players. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that emerges from a relatively simple setup. Tons of carbon. Now these are low carbon stacks. Alright, we'll go here. I don't like shipping it in distantly, but I want to get that aluminum for the early boost. And do we want to get power going right away? Power is currently really cheap. Let's see, silicon. Oh, there's plenty of silicon. Silicon's not the rare item here. We'll drop the aluminum mine. They're all really low stacks though, so I don't think I'm too happy about that. Do I want to go double aluminum off the bat? I did pick up a fair amount of aluminum by settling on it, but we can always switch this over to something else later. We are in a bit of a crater here, so it wouldn't be the best option for switching over to solar, but definitely something to consider. I should be really close to an upgrade here, so yeah, as soon as these 2 limps come in with that carbon shipment, I should be able to grab an upgrade. There we go, and we will take that right now. Start bidding on that claim. Since we are a scavenger, the black market does unlock for us sooner, which means I'll probably want to sell all of this stuff down so I can buy that claim. Let's see. Maybe 12,000 a little too much. 14,000. We can buy 2 more claims. We'll have more claims and we'll know it. Okay, we'll let it go for 16,000. That's a little too high for my liking. Battlemonger, when you bid on auctions, you pay for that out of your debt. Washmatic, the multiplayer games usually last half an hour, so it's actually the perfect length for a nice strategic game, and a very welcome change for, I guess, a year ago I used to play a lot of Civ 5 multiplayer, and those things were like 6 to 8 hour long affairs, and I really can't fit that into my life anymore, at least not right now. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of claims. I need to decide what to do with this. Let's start bringing in some, not there, misclick. Let's start bringing in some silicon, and we'll stop misclicking. We'll grab the high silicon there and start dropping some glass factories. That's always a good bet. People need glass to start upgrading their colonies. So I'll sell down a little of the aluminum. And what are we lacking for these glass plants? That's making it so expensive to push out carbon. Alright, we could drop a 3rd carbon quarry. Now, as for water, there is water around, but it's relatively rare to what it could be. I mean, there are large patches here, but we're not close to the water, and that could be troublesome. We could put in 2 water pumps right here the next time we upgrade. There are no units to micro, but there is direct sabotage. So there's the black market where I could blow up or steal other people's buildings, buy items to protect mine, destroy resource deposits, or temporarily freeze down buildings with EMPs and power surges. But yeah, there's no units to run around. It's there are definitely real-time elements, and there's definitely harsh competition, but it's not your traditional real-time strategy game. All right, so we can go take our upgrade here. Let's see, have people gotten into glass yet? Not really. All right, so we could make a huge amount of money as people start buying glass to upgrade their colonies. So let's double down on glass there. Looks like food is starting to rise in price. We're gonna need some water. Oh, someone already grabbed that water there, which makes, I mean, there's a low water right near my base. I won't have to pay for the fuel cost to ship that in. Or we could grab a medium water halfway across the map, or if we wanted to get adjacency bonuses going, we could go all the way over here. These are really nice tiles for scientific players. And Androsity already quit. I mean, it's too far away for me to bother with. So I'll leave that. But, I guess I could go for a single water pump. How? The expansive player has got 2 water pumps down. No one else is really going into water here. Unless, okay, so a bunch of water pumps drop down there. Maybe water won't be too expensive. We could get away with just the 1 water pump. Sell down a little carbon, sell down a bunch of glass. We'll make use of power is super cheap right now too, so I don't need to get into power. Let's go even harder into glass here. We might attract some unwanted attention with our nice little glass corner. But we'll keep that going and we'll start pumping out the farms. Let's see, we can drop farms here. Let's drop a farm right now, and then we'll take our upgrade, drop a diamond there. So each building gets a 50% boost for every building of the same type that's beside it. So you get huge efficiency bonuses by dropping buildings of the same kind beside each other. The drawback to that is it's easier for you to be hit by sabotage items like the power surge and the EMP. And I need to start auto buying water. We'll auto supply that, but that means we need to free up some cash here to pay for the water. And if ever the price of water becomes on par with the price of food, so right now I produce 1 food, or 1.25 food for every 1 water. So if the price of water starts matching up the price of food, I'll have to shut down the farms. Because it becomes a losing proposition to be buying water for that. Ooh, the claims are still really cheap. I can buy another claim here. How? And we can get into reactors too. Looks, we should probably get ourselves 1 water pump up, but for now, we can just pump out a bunch of reactors. Let's drop them over here.
Scientific colony expanded.
Need more claims. All right, take the upgrade. Reactor, and we'll want to pick up a goon squad while that's cheap. Our black market unlocks again in 1 second. Go grab that. Let's sell down some more glass. We're making really good money off of this glass. We'll sell that down. And needs water. We need to turn on auto supply here. We really need to keep an eye on the water price. Make sure that doesn't spiral out of control. And it doesn't look like we're facing too much competition right now. Our biggest threat, well, we can look at upgrades, and we can also look at how much cash and resources they have on hand. So no one's set up to do anything too scary. We can buy out either Sharky or Timu. Let's see, Sharky is the best stock price. Yozhao probably 24,000, and then that'll let our off-worlds be a little safer. Alright, so that was pretty expensive. We're gonna need a lot of carbon for this, so we can hold off on that, sell down the fuel and the food, build up another stockpile, and we'll start buying into Timu. Let's see what we would get if we acquired him. We would get a lot of water, and I don't think the price of water is going to stay low forever, so let's start buying into Timu. We'll buy into ourselves here as well. And we do need to sell down the food, fuel, bunch of glass. Get rid of the food. Got a decent price in carbon, but we need that to push out these off-worlds. Go and drop the goon squad to protect that. Ooh, and we got some major shortages here. Let's start selling down Well, sell down a bit of the aluminum so that we can keep buying the water, sell down all the food, all the fuel while the prices are nice and high, a bunch of the aluminum, and a bit of the glass. Someone underground nuked something of ours. Let's see, we've been targeted by an underground nuke. I'm not sure which tile was hit. Oh, it was our carbon right here, so that's been reduced to trace. We're barely extracting anything from that now. Sell down all of this stuff. And Timu, if we want to buy him out, we're gonna need quite a bit more money. We're gonna sell fuel off-world, so we'll want to up our fuel production. I think we can start cutting back on the carbon then. Someone's after our stock, Timu's after our stock. Let's scrap this and put it in another reactor, and we'll make a full-on reactor triangle. Since that's what we're planning to ship off-world, we need to sell down some of this. And grab another goon squad while they're still cheap. Put that there, and sell down a little glass, one more fuel, all of the food, and we'll save the last claim for our off-world. We're gonna go and auto-ship fuel. And Timu's really going for a stock here. How much cash does he have? Ooh, that's getting dangerous. Let's sell down some of the carbon, some of the glass. Auction's a good price. The price of water is going way up. We need to just turn all these guys off. And uh-oh, this is getting dangerous. Power surged. Oh, Timu can buy us out at any second. Pay down the debt. Oh no, Timu's got us here. I thought we had him, but when that water price went crazy, we started spending a lot of our money, and that got rid of our cash on hand and put us way into debt. So we're actually in big trouble here. We need to turn all of this stuff off. And let's see, no, there's nothing I can free up. Yeah, Timu has enough money to buy us out at any time here. The only thing we're not anywhere close to getting enough to buy him out, so we're just done for. We were doing really well, but those few seconds where we were losing a lot of money really hurt us. So Timu is being smart here. He knows that he doesn't need to buy us out right away. One of our off-worlds just launched. Let's see, we can turn these guys back on. Our glasses, okay, so Timu just bought us out. So let's get another game rolling. It's always... The first game for me always goes badly. Well, I mean, the later games can go badly too, but the first one is definitely a jarring warm-up. So let's go and create a lobby, let that fill up while we speak to the old Twitch chat. Washromatic asks what the different setups are at the start of the game, the different races or classes. So there are 4 different headquarter types. There's expansive. I guess they're like the basic headquarter type, and all the others are slight modifications on expansive. The advantage of expansive is that they require half the normal amount of steel to upgrade their HQ. Upgrading your HQ increases your cost of various life support items, but it also unlocks a lot more claims for you and unlocks special buildings at level 2 and level 5. The other advantage of expansive is that every time they upgrade, they get an extra claim relative to the other headquarter types. We have scavengers who get early access to the black market and early information as to the random and hacked events that affect the price on the resource market. AG Squared, I've played him a few times, and he's been in my Twitch chat before too. And scavengers, instead of using steel for their upgrades and for their buildings, they use carbon. So that's quite a significant switch. Then there's the robotics who, let's see now. Instead of using the conventional life support, which is food, water, oxygen, they use electronics instead. And instead of using fuel to pay for their blimps, they pay electricity. So that's a big switch there, and their headquarter upgrades do not require any glass. So all the other races require steel or carbon in the case of scavenger, aluminum and glass to upgrade. And AJ Squared says it's weird that he or she found me on Offworld before Twitch. Fair enough. And then the final headquarter type or race faction is scientific. And scientific, so there are these black market sabotage items that you can buy to hurt other players directly. And let's see. And those sabotage items are 50% effective versus a scientific player. So that's a nice bonus there. And a lot of the buildings require other resources. So input resources like, for example, the farms require water. The scientific player, they can build special versions of buildings, scientific versions that can withdraw those basic resources right out of the ground. So if you build, as if a scientific player builds a farm directly on top of water, then that farm will have access to free water and they don't need to buy or build a water pump elsewhere. And they can, so it's really nice not to have to spend tiles to get those other basic resources. They also research new patents and engineering lab improvements 50% faster. So scientific is definitely interesting. Last game, most of you saw me playing Scavenger, so we'll probably play something else in this game, and we could go for 4 players. I'll drop that down to medium, and we'll see if these guys ready up. Hey, Anthony Gabaldon. Welcome to the channel. Oh, PB Head. All right. So PB Head, I've done some Skype sessions with him. He also streams on Twitch. And he's quite good. I think he plays a lot more Offworld than I have. In fact, I think I remember him saying that he was in the Founders Elite version of Offworld. So this game was only released on early access 3 or 4 weeks ago, but prior to that it had been live for 6 or more months. If you were willing to spend, let's see, how much was it, like $100 or something like that to be in the Founders Elite program, where you were in a very, very private early alpha kind of thing. And so, I mean, the game is awesome, not necessarily $100 awesome, but still awesome. The main reason you do that is because so the lead designer on this game is Soren Johnson, who is a designer, co-designer, partial designer of Civ 3, and lead designer on Civ 4. So if you really want to support his latest project, this is his first offering from his newly founded indie game studio, then those are the people who spent $100x to be part of the Founder Elite group. And I think PB Head said he was one of those. But I might be making that up as well. Anyways, he's really good, and so we'll do our best to get him. But you know, I'm not the best player out there. And as for gates or names we recognize, Aja Squared, PB Head, they're both quite good. So we definitely have some good competition in this game. And we had good competition in the last game too, and we definitely paid for that. Well, there's so much iron.
Preliminary scans agree this is a great primary location for our new investment. You can count on us.
Alright, so those of you whose first game of Offworld they've ever seen was last game where we played Scavenger. This opening is totally different. All the other headquarter types require steel to upgrade, so I just built 2 steel mills here, and the steel mills require iron, which is here. As Scavenger, you can totally ignore iron and totally ignore steel, and Athrogate settled right beside me. Well, that's a pain. In fact, I didn't really need to drop this metal mine here on the iron. What I really needed was to take that high aluminum, and I should have. I settled on a bunch of iron, so I've got a bunch of free iron to start with. I really need to either upgrade or buy a cheap claim really rapidly. Since I settled relatively early, I think I was the 3rd to settle there. It's going to be a while before this black market unlocks for me. I really need another claim. We should buy up the aluminum right now because some other people might have made the same mistake we did and not gotten their aluminum mines online. So let's go and drop that before the problem gets any worse. And then let's see, let's drop a 1 silicon quarry on the high silicon, and then start getting into glass again. It looks like we are going to be the first to get into glass, so we can probably make decent money off of that. Let's drop a glass factory in the back here, and then we'll be off to the races. Let's see, aluminum's coming online. PB Head almost always plays scavenger, and he's really good with that. But this isn't really the best scavenger setup. He doesn't. Maybe Aja Squared beat him to probably the carbon he was eyeing, and the AI is going to win the last game. So Crazy Hades was Apollo in the last game we were playing as scavenger, and apparently his game is done, and it looks like the AI is going to win there. So that's always funny. Let's turn on auto supply. So compared to other 4X games, the AI in Offworld is quite good. Possibly because it's a relatively simple rule set, and so many times if you're not paying attention to what the AI is doing, and someone drops out and is replaced by an AI opponent, such as the boulder in this case, the AI can go on to win the game. Alright, okay, so the cheap claim, we missed it on that. I was busy talking, but we could go pick up something else cheap, like maybe a cheap mutiny. Let's go stockpile that, and maybe we'll want to get into some geothermal. Ah, no, someone's going to beat us to that. Is there another geothermal I can grab somewhere on the map? Looks like they're mostly taken. Alright, we'll grab 1 geothermal going. And what's going to be expensive here? Right now, steel and glass are both quite expensive. It's going to be a surplus. If I can sell down, let's see, sell down that iron, sell down a little of this. I'm considering, I really should buy the claim for 7,000 while it's still cheap. So every time, this is a shared black market, every time someone buys an item, it increases by a certain amount of money. I think it might be, I think it's dependent on the number of players, but the amount that it increases by might be exponential, but it's certainly going to be up by another 2,000 at least. And, I mean, this guy is shipping in some steel. Steel is worth a decent price, so we could probably go and steal some of that. JW, JD. We could steal aluminum too. Aluminum's not too expensive. Alright, so it's gonna be the steel then. Let's see, who just dropped that? We could steal from the AI, or possibly steal from both of them, dropping the pirates right there. Not sure how that's gonna work out. Steel's maintaining its price, so let's go and upgrade right here. Drop another steel mill. And then okay, so our power is being built right now. Let's see, this guy just squared. Is this goon squad protected? Most likely defended. Drat, and then he's just gonna steal ours. We should have stolen from the robotic guy here. So you can buy these goon squads, which is a squad of goons, and all of these black market items, the idea is that you send out like a little sabotage team across the map, and the goon squad spots you and steals their sabotage items, or maybe turns them, convinces them that they should go and target someone else. So that can turn things around. Let's see, we've got 3 claims. What do I want to do with these? Something of ours was mutinied. Aja Squared turned that right around and mutinied our power. If we want to free up some money, let's sell down a bunch of steel, grab this, and the price of the goon squad hasn't gone up. Alright, so we'll mutiny the power. Just bad luck that was defended. I mean, it does make sense with the price of power being what it is, that you would goon squad defend your geothermals. But unfortunately oh, and then that got mutinied right back. Alas, so we're losing, let's see, $70 per second because we're buying power. At its current price, I've got 3 claims. We could, how high are we here? Let's just drop a bunch of solar panels then. Maybe beside the steel or beside the glass. Drop that like that, and, well, actually, price of power is going down. This should be in metal mines, since the price of iron is pretty high. But we're going to need to free up some more money for the metal mine. Alright, so we'll start mining some of that. And we're gonna have to get over to the next upgrade. Let's see. Everyone else is still at level 3 too, so we're not feeling far behind, but that set of mutinies and someone sent a power surge at us, which isn't great either. And we need to be purchasing more iron. Let's sell down some of the steel. We could pick up the energy vault, especially since we're into solar and the price of power. It's not fantastic right now. I could go to 8,000, 10,000, that's it. Actually, I don't really want this for 10,000. I hope someone outbids me, but they probably won't. Alas. Alright, well, so since we're on solar, these things go off at night. Of course, that makes sense, which means if we didn't have that battery, which we spent 10,000 on, we'd be losing money right now. The price of power is only $27 per unit, so we wouldn't be losing that much money. But we'd still be losing some money. Alright, let's wait until the glass ticks in. Let's grab another glass thing here. Someone floated a metal mine over, and we can, let's see. It's 1-to-1, so we can turn these guys off since the price of iron is pretty high right now. And let's see how close we are to that upgrade. We just need a little more aluminum or the cash to pay for it. Let's sell down some of the steel, take our upgrade, and price of power is low. We need to get into food. What's water looking like? There's a really nice water over here, but we wouldn't be able to get any adjacency bonuses going. Let's just grab that up because, let's see, water is pretty sparse on this map. So a big source of the variability in this game is from the resource distribution and the resource plentifulness. How plentiful the different resources are varies from game to game. Let's pick up a cheap mutiny. We'll use that later. Price of power is low. We want to use these claims to push out some farms. We can definitely sell down the iron, turn these guys back on, and push out a bunch of farms. We'll go 4 farms for now, and then we can push something else out later. We can switch some stuff over to reactors if necessary. This guy's getting a hacker array online. I wonder what he would try to make money off with that hacker array. I don't know. He's not hard into any particular resource. Let's see how these other guys are doing. Glass. We could go deeper into glass, but I mean, right now the price of food is a lot better. Yeah, Washmatic. The maps are randomly generated. Ooh, seriously, I don't know why we're being targeted here. I guess we are one of the 3 people who are at level 4 HQ, but there's really no need for this. I'm not running away with the game or anything like that. I don't want to pay for more glass. Let's pick up a goon squad while that's cheap. And we can definitely sell down some more of this iron. Superconductors, we could pick that up for under 6,000, especially since we have solar next to the base. Sure, power's not worth much right now. If I can pick it up for 8,000, that'll be fine. If it's any more, we'll just let it go. JW is the one who's bidding on this. He has geothermal right next to his base, so geothermal's output 2 power, so that could be 4 power. Our solar currently, though, each of these is now putting out 3.9, so almost as good as geothermal, and with the added flexibility that we can switch these over to other types of buildings, whereas geotherms are stuck as that. So this guy is getting into electronics. He could short electronics. Do I want to take the upgrade? Do I want to do something with this tile? Glass is still doing well. Let's drop a glass plant again, and then we'll take the upgrade. But I need to decide what I want to get into here. Aegis Squared has bought into everyone. Food would be really good if people would stop mutinying or sabotaging all of our stuff. Let's buy some of our own stock there. And our debt is really bad, so I'm not going to upgrade to the next level until I pay down this debt. Just so that people aren't super afraid of us and buy us out while we're cheap. Alright, so why is my debt so high now? I've been paying a lot for fuel and oxygen. We need to get into reactors. We could switch the steel out, but I still need steel. Alright, well, We're going to need the glass to tick in. We need 80 glass, and then we'll grab the upgrade. We're losing so much money off of fuel and oxygen here. This is not great. Let's swap out one of these solar panels for a reactor. We'll take the upgrade, build out more reactors, reactor diamond, and we'll buy up some more of our shares, sell down the glass. There's a steel shortage, pay down all of our debt so that no one gets any funny ideas. Sell this down. These guys need water. We'll free up some cash, start auto supply, and start auto supply. The price of water is probably going to go up, but for now we're okay. I am at level 5, so we needed to check the price of this stuff off-world. We don't really have great off-world prices this game. So we might need to get into the hacker array. He's got double hacker arrays going. I wonder what he's probably going to go for a short on electronics. We could build out some electronics, we could hijack his electronics, or we could just buy up a bunch of electronics in advance. So the thing is, that would only help him though. Is there electronics I can steal from someone else? Or maybe I can just drop an EMP on him. Let's just drop an EMP on him. That sounds like something that would be good for a laugh. And he had a goon squad on the other hacker lab. That's interesting. Alright, these guys need water, and I'm going to sell down some of my steel to pay for that. Sell down all of this stuff. And down some more of that. And why am I losing so much money? I could use some more water for sure. Let's see. Water is going to get really ugly for us really quickly. Let's drop a water pump right there. It's better than nothing. We are getting targeted pretty hard by sabotage. Azure Squared keeps buying down our stock. Alright, and we can switch these guys over to something else. I'll buy the last bit of our stock there. And we need to turn the food off because the water is too high. And let's see. Sell down some of this. And we could get out of glass. Glass is now fairly expensive. What are the prices of the inputs for electronics? Electronics take silicon, carbon, and aluminum. Those are all relatively cheap, so let's delete all of these guys and build out a number of electronic labs. Well, we'll keep that flowing in. Sell down a little of the glass and sell down the steel while it's high. Put out 3 electronics labs to try to keep pace with this guy. He's probably shorting electronics. We'll send a power surge at him as well. And let's see, the price of power is going up. That was blown up. Oh, our geothermal was blown up too. Well, we need to repair that. Let's see. Repair. And price of water was the price of food. We can turn our farms back on. And we should probably start buying into some of these people. Maybe Athrogate or Azure Squared is the most expensive, but he also owns stock in pretty much everyone. Let's see, that's gonna be frozen down for a while. These guys need carbon, start auto supply, and sell out some of this. The price of steel means that these pirates are worth stealing all the steel that's coming into the AI. We'll do that. Pirates steal 20 or 200 units, so at this price, this will definitely be worthwhile. We could easily pay 40,000 for that, so it'd still be profitable at 20,000. But at 28,000, we're starting. It's not going to be as good of a deal. Let's see, is there something better to steal? I mean, steel is the obvious one. Is someone shipping in food from a distance? Well, there's some electronics coming in here. Well, that's all right. Food from a distance, right here. Let's steal the food and the water from PB Head there, and sell down this stuff.
The black market is online.
Just turn off the food given the price of water. Definitely need to keep an eye on that. Sell down the aluminum. Do we want to start going off-world? Everyone's getting into hacker arrays. We're going to be really vulnerable to that. Price of aluminum. Let's go and drop. Well, go even harder into electronics. And if we can get a good source of carbon all the way on the other side of the map. No, that's not going to be very helpful. Price of power, price of water is insane. See, well, let's buy the last share in Azure there. We need 500,000. That's going to be rough. People are shorting carbon. Goon squads are super expensive. Let's pick up a cheap power surge. A lot of hacker arrays in this game, Mr. Justice. And we should probably... Ooh, and the water shortage. There's no way for us to get into water. Like, we could put some water condensers on the ice there, but then we have to ship it in from the other side of the map. All the good patents are probably already gone. Yes, they are. All that down. Everyone else is selling water too. That was probably an artificial raise in the price of water. We can turn our reactors back on, but I need something I can make. Ooh, there's a steel shortage. Probably artificial there as well. Let's try to take advantage of that. We could drop some more steel here, and we'll replace that with Offworlds later. But the prices Offworlds are just so terrible that I don't really want to go for any of that. And sell down all of this stuff.
The black market is online.
Sell down all of our glass. Who can I possibly buy out here? PB Head is dangerously close to buying us out. Azure Squared has some nice stuff coming in from around. We could get into virtual reality. Let's see. What can I possibly do to slow Azure down? Maybe EMP right here? Okay, price of food is good. Turn the farms back on. And we've got that. You need on us. Something of ours was underground nuked. We've been targeted by an underground nuke. One of our waters has been reduced to trace. Well, that's a pain. We're losing some money on power. Azure Squared is worth even more now, so it's going to be really difficult to buy him out. The price of electronics isn't great. We should probably switch these guys over to chemicals then. Delete, 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 delete. And we're being targeted down. Someone really wants to buy us or do something with us that we don't like. Ooh, the price of iron's really good. Sold on that steel. May as well sell on a bunch of that silicon. And our debt's terrible. We should just pay down our debt. Alright, fine. We're not going to get a surprise buyout on anyone. JW. So many electronics here, though. We'll just save them, because this guy's definitely going to be shorting electronics. Let's carbon start auto supply. Price of carbon versus the price of chemicals makes this very favorable. And we need to turn these guys off because the price of water is so ridiculous. Sell down the food. Sell down some of the iron, all of the steel. And we could get into more solar here. Let's see, what's not paying for itself right now? Reactors, let's get rid of those and drop down some solar. And we could make decent money off of that since we do have superconductors, which gets us double yield from power that's attached to our base. Let's see, Adja squared, his value keeps on increasing. Meanwhile, JWJD seems to have some nice stockpiles of money. Make good money off of the chemicals. Price of carbon is going up, though. We're buying 2 per turn, so we have to make sure this price differential doesn't mess us up too much. Hey, Offworld York, welcome to the stream. And people are Offworld nuking us. This is insane. Like, we are not the leader here. Although we do have the second highest stock price. Okay. Well, do I want to wait on the electronics until Athrogate pulls off his hacks? So I'm pretty sure he's hacking electronics since he's so heavy into electronics there. So we'll let him go with that. Ooh, the price of iron is amazing though. Turn off the steel mills, jeez. Sell some of that down. Sell down the food. And these guys need to stay off because water is too expensive. It's nighttime, so we're not making good money off of power, but we could be once that comes back online. We could sell down the chemicals, sure. That seems sensible. Mona 3, and we could buy out any of these guys, including this guy, but it's Adja squared that we need to buy out because he owns stock in everyone. But we're not anywhere close to that. Not anywhere close to that at all. And we are not going to turn our iron back online anytime soon. Well, it's a good price there. I'll keep selling this stuff down. Selling all the chemicals. Ooh, no, it's not enough. Only 40,000 off of that. Well, pay down our debt to keep Adja away from us. In fact, we should probably do something to Adja. The cheapest thing would be an EMP. Let's go an EMP right here. Although the reactors probably would have been better value for us. We could steal. Price of power is worthless. What's carbon at? Could steal one of his carbons. Fine, whatever. Anything to slow him down. He's so close to buying us out. Turn those reactors back online. Turn the steel mills back online. Price of chemicals is going up. As soon as that gets to its peak, we'll sell. And Adja's at 94%. Oh man, he can buy us at any time now, and he knows that I don't know how we're comparing to everyone else as far as buyouts go. Why isn't anyone else buying Adja squared? Surely someone else can buy him. He's coming after me, I know it. No, we're not close enough. We're not nearly close enough. Turn off the farms. Turn off, no, the reactor price for fuel is still fine. Keep that going. Adja's at 100, but there's no reason he should come after us. Surely there's someone else is a bigger threat. Adja, someone else is a bigger threat. I'm still waiting for the price of electronics to go up. Come on now, Athrogate. What's the deal? Like, I could have bought any of these guys out a while ago, but it would just give Adja more money. That's why I'm not. Ah, man. It's all up to Adja here. Adja's in the driver's seat, and people aren't sabotaging nearly as much as they... I guess the price of all the sabotage is way too high. Alright, the AI just fought up PBhead. PBhead was not having a good game. But I'm not nearly close enough. Okay, Adja just bought out some other people. Now, there we go. So Adja was just saving up until he could buy everyone out. It was definitely an interesting game. But I didn't have a really good way to make money. And since I didn't have any hacker arrays, which I could have done, but I wasn't in the position to make any good cash crops. Cash crops were anything that depended on water or water. I was late to the race in terms of picking up water pumps. And chemicals were worth an insane amount, but I didn't have any carbon. So it would have been really risky for me to go heavy into chemicals and then short chemicals. So I was really dependent on the price on the market and everyone else's hacker array actions. And the prices for stuff off-world were terrible. So going in, usually your big endgame moneymaker can come from the off-world market, which is rockets where you launch your resources, your processed items into space, and then make a lot of money off of that because the prices off-world aren't affected by the amounts that you sell. But in that game, we were just trying to get enough money selling stuff on Worlds to buy out Aja. If we bought anyone else out, when you buy someone else out, you have to pay anyone who owns their stock double. So if I bought anyone else out, which I could have done for much of the game, we could have bought any of those guys out instantly. Since Aja owned like half to a third of their stock, he would have gotten a lot of money, and that would have just given the game to him all that much sooner. So my only hope was to get enough money to buy out Aja Squared, but it didn't work out that way. Good game, Aja. Good game. And Aja's here in the Twitch chat with us. So let's go and create a new game. Battlelogger, the game is available on Steam. It's currently in early access. It's very playable, very fun, but it is fairly expensive. I think you can find deals elsewhere on the internet